Have you ever stopped to wonder what separates the people who merely get through the day from those who truly shine? Those who, even in the midst of chaos, seem to be in complete control, who make decisions with precision, act calmly, and manage to stay focused even when the world is falling apart around them. What do these people know that you don't know yet? The answer might seem too simple to be true, and that's exactly why most people overlook it. Meditation. Yes, meditation. That thing many still think is just monk stuff or a Zen trend. But what if I told you that this ancient practice is actually one of the most powerful tools for peak mental performance ever studied by science? What if you discovered that CEOs, Olympic athletes, elite strategists, and visionary entrepreneurs use meditation as a core part of their routine? Not for religion, not for culture, but because they've understood something you're about to discover in this video. Whoever controls their mind controls everything. Sounds like an exaggeration? Then stay with me. Here's a harsh but liberating truth. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up already rushing, grab their phone, scroll through social media, reply to messages, and start the day reacting to everything and everyone. No time to think, no time to breathe, no time to just be. Do you relate to that? How many times have you started your day already speeding, mind racing, without even realizing you're living in automatic mode? Now imagine this. What if, instead of starting your day in chaos, you had 10 minutes of total clarity, 10 minutes of silence, deep breathing, and absolute focus on yourself? It might sound small, but it could completely transform your productivity, your decisions, and your energy. And here's the most interesting part. This small habit of daily meditation is linked to real changes in your brain. Various neurological studies show that regular meditation increases gray matter in areas responsible for focus, empathy, and emotional control. It also reduces activity in areas linked to anxiety, fear, and stress. In other words, this isn't spiritual talk. It's neuroscience. It's biology. It's real. But you might be wondering, all right, but how can something so simple lead to such deep results? The answer lies in how you train your attention. That's exactly what meditation is. Training. And here's one of the greatest secrets of high performance. Attention is the most valuable resource of the 21st century. Those who master their attention master the game. But most people are distracted, trapped in notifications, bombarded by stimuli, drowning in information. And that has a cost you might already be paying without realizing. Anxiety, stress, mental fatigue, and ever-decreasing productivity. Now, take a deep breath. Imagine a clear mind. No noise, no overload. A mind sharp like a blade, ready to cut through distraction and focus on what truly matters. That's what meditation starts to build. And the best part? It costs nothing. It depends on no one. It only depends on you. You can start now. Literally now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Feel the air going in and out of your body. Just that. And when your mind wanders, because it will gently bring it back, that simple movement is training. And over time, your mind begins to change. But let me ask you a direct question. How many poor decisions have you made because your head was too cluttered? How many opportunities have you missed because you were distracted, tired, or emotionally unbalanced? And what if the only thing stopping you from growing is your lack of mastery over your own mind? Now do you see why top names in sports, business, and the arts make meditation a non-negotiable ritual? They know that in moments of pressure, emotional control is worth more than any degree. And this brings us to one of the most overlooked mental triggers when it comes to performance, the scarcity of time. You only have 24 hours a day. And if a large part of that time is being wasted on repetitive thoughts, pointless worries, and constant distractions, then your energy is draining away without you even noticing. Here's a startling fact. The average human being has over 60,000 thoughts per day. Most of them are negative, repetitive, and automatic. Now stop and think. How many of those thoughts are actually helping you evolve? If you don't train your mind, it will sabotage you. And the worst part, you won't even realize you're being sabotaged. But when you start meditating, you create an inner space between stimulus and response, between what happens to you and how you react to it. And within that space lies your power. Imagine now a stressful situation, an unexpected demand, a crisis at work, a problem at home. While most people react on impulse, in desperation, or fear, you breathe. You observe. You decide with clarity. This isn't magic. This is mental training. But you might be thinking, meditation is hard for me. I can't stop thinking. Here's a game changer. Meditation isn't about stopping thoughts. It's about stopping getting lost in them. You will never stop thinking. But you can learn to observe your thoughts without being carried away by them. Like clouds passing in the sky. You observe and let them go, and you know what happens when you train that every day? You begin to gain power. A type of power most people never experience. The power of presence. Have you ever had a moment where everything seemed to flow? Where you were so focused, so connected, that time seemed to slow down. That state has a name, flow. And meditation is one of the fastest ways to access it regularly. Now, pay close attention. If you're truly committed to your growth, to your performance, to your results, then you need to understand a brutal truth. No one can do this for you. There's no coach, app, supplement, or miracle technique that can replace the daily training of the mind. Either you take the wheel, or you'll keep being driven by your impulses. And here's one more uncomfortable question. Are you afraid of silence? It might sound odd, but most people avoid meditation because in silence, they meet the voices they've been avoiding, doubts, insecurities, demands, memories. But here's the truth. Only by facing those voices can you overcome them. You don't need more distractions. You need courage to look within. And that's what meditation demands. Silent courage. The courage to sit with yourself. To breathe deeply. To say, I'm here and I'm in control now. And that courage changes everything. But let's bring this into the real world. Imagine you're about to enter an important meeting, or step into a challenging conversation, or make a big decision. Most people walk in carrying the weight of stress, noise, and mental confusion. But you arrive centered, calm, present, fully aware. Can you see how that changes the game? It's not just about feeling better. It's about making better choices, communicating more clearly, leading with strength, and performing at a higher level consistently. And here's something the top 1% understand. Your outer world reflects your inner world. You can invest in strategies, tools, and techniques. But if your mind is restless, reactive, and unfocused, none of that will bring long-term results. True high performance starts on the inside. Let me share a quick story with you. There was once a samurai who went to a Zen master, asking for enlightenment. The master looked at him and said nothing. Instead, he started pouring tea into the samurai's cup. The cup filled, and the tea overflowed. The samurai shouted, "Stop! The cup is full. Can't you see?" And the master replied calmly, "Exactly. Your mind is like this cup, full of opinions, distractions, thoughts. How can I teach you anything if you don't empty it first?" That's the power of meditation. It empties the cup so you can receive what truly matters. Now tell me honestly, how full is your cup today? How many unnecessary thoughts, opinions, and emotions are you carrying without even realizing? Meditation teaches you to release, to reset, to begin again from a place of clarity. And this affects everything. In your relationships, you become less reactive and more compassionate. In your work, you become more focused, more creative, and more effective. In your goals, you gain consistency because discipline becomes easier when the mind is stable. Have you ever tried to start a new habit, like going to the gym, eating well, studying more, but kept failing because of lack of motivation or inner resistance? Meditation doesn't magically give you motivation. What it does is remove the inner noise that blocks your natural drive. Because discipline is not just about willpower, it's about alignment. When your mind is calm and clear, taking action becomes natural. Think of it like this: your mind is like a river. If it's muddy and turbulent, you can't see clearly. But if it's calm and transparent, everything becomes visible. That's what daily meditation brings: clarity, and clarity is power. Now let's break a myth. I don't have time to meditate. Do you know how much time the average person spends on social media each day? Around 3 hours. Yes, you heard that right. But people say they don't have 10 minutes to sit, breathe, and connect with themselves. It's not about time. It's about priorities. And the moment you place your mind at the top of your list, everything else aligns. Here's a simple challenge for you. For the next 7 days, meditate for 10 minutes in the morning. No excuses. No overthinking. Just sit, close your eyes, and breathe. Observe your thoughts. Feel your body. Notice your emotions. That's it. Do it for a week and notice what happens. Your energy changes. Your mood improves. You'll probably sleep better. You'll feel less anxious, more present, more in control. And that's just the beginning. Because the more you practice, the deeper the transformation becomes. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop rushing. You start observing. You stop surviving. You start leading. Now here's the golden key. Meditation isn't just a relaxation tool. It's a mental technology, one that has been refined for thousands of years and is now validated by modern science. It's not about candles, incense, or chanting, unless you want that. It's about mastering the most powerful system you own, your mind. Let me ask you a serious question. How far could you go if your mind was your greatest ally, not your worst enemy? What could you create, lead, transform, if your thoughts were focused, your emotions stable, and your energy aligned? This is the moment to stop being a slave to your mental patterns and become the master of your inner world. And do you know where that starts? In silence, in stillness, in presence, in the decision to sit down, close your eyes, and meet the most important person in your life, yourself. That's where real transformation begins. Now, maybe you're wondering, but what exactly happens when I meditate? Let's break it down, not in a mystical way, but in a real, practical, scientific way. When you meditate, several powerful things start happening in your brain and body. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, focus, and self-control, becomes stronger. It's like going to the gym, but for your attention span. The amygdala, the part of the brain linked to stress, fear, and reactivity, begins to shrink in activity. So instead of living in survival mode, you move into a state of calm awareness. Your brain waves shift from high beta, associated with stress and distraction, to alpha and theta, associated with creativity, learning, and deep relaxation. And do you know what all that means? It means you become less reactive and more intentional. You stop living on autopilot and start designing your inner state, and with that, your entire life. And here's something else that's fascinating. People who meditate regularly report feeling more connected to themselves, to others, and even to something greater than themselves. Why is that? Because in silence, the illusion of separation starts to dissolve. You begin to notice that the same life force that flows through you flows through everything, and that gives you a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, a sense of clarity that no book, podcast, or motivational video can give you. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you truly felt at peace without needing anything external to make you feel good? Think about that. Now imagine being able to access that feeling, not once by accident, but every day by choice. That's what meditation unlocks. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Forget the idea that you need to sit cross-legged for an hour in silence to do it right. You can meditate while sitting in a chair, walking slowly in nature, even while washing the dishes, as long as you're present. Presence is the essence, not the posture, not the background music, not the technique, just presence. And the beautiful thing is, it's a skill, which means it can be trained, strengthened, developed. You don't have to be a monk. You just need to commit. Let's talk about performance now. In a world that's constantly demanding more of us, more productivity, more creativity, more results, meditation is your secret weapon. While others burn out trying to do more, you slow down and achieve more with less effort. You move from force to flow. You stop chasing results and start attracting them, not through luck, but through alignment. Because when your mind is clear, your energy is clean, and your attention is focused, your actions become unstoppable. Think of any top performer you admire, athlete, artist, entrepreneur, leader. I can almost guarantee they have some form of meditation or mindfulness in their routine. Why? Because success without clarity leads to chaos, and clarity without presence is fragile. But when you combine presence with clarity and disciplined action, you become magnetic, and people feel it. They might not know what it is, but they can sense something different in you. A grounded power, a peaceful intensity, a silent confidence. That's what meditation cultivates. Now let me ask you, are you willing to trade 10 minutes of distraction for a lifetime of transformation? Because that's the offer on the table. Every morning you wake up, you have a choice: to feed the noise or nurture your clarity, to react to the world or lead from within, to live in survival or step into mastery. And that choice starts with a simple decision: to sit down, close your eyes, and breathe. Not for the world, not for anyone else, but for you, because you deserve to live fully. Not half awake, not half present, not half alive. You deserve to unlock the full power of your mind, and meditation is a master key. Now that you understand the why, let's talk about the how. Because maybe you're thinking, okay, I get it, meditation is powerful, but where do I start? And the truth is, starting is simple. You don't need fancy apps, candles, or spiritual music. You don't even need to clear your mind. That's a myth. Let's clear that up right now. Meditation is not about stopping your thoughts. It's about observing them without judgment, without attachment. Imagine sitting on the side of a road, watching cars pass by. The cars are your thoughts. You don't chase them. You don't try to stop them. You just watch. That's meditation. And the more you practice this, the more space you create between stimulus and response. Someone says something rude. You don't snap. You breathe. You feel anxiety rising. You don't drown in it. You watch it pass. You feel overwhelmed. You anchor yourself in the present moment. And from there, you choose your next move. That's emotional intelligence in action. And meditation is a training ground. Here's a simple technique you can try right now, even as you listen. Sit comfortably, back straight, hands relaxed. Close your eyes gently. Take a deep breath in and out. Now bring your attention to your breath, the air coming in, the air going out. When a thought appears, and it will, simply notice it and return to your breath. Repeat this for just 2 minutes. That's it. If you do this every day, even for a short time, your mind begins to shift. Your nervous system begins to regulate. Your focus becomes sharper. And eventually, you'll notice something amazing. You don't have to chase peace anymore, because it starts living inside you. And that changes everything. You become more present with your family, more composed under pressure, more creative when problem solving. More you, the best version of you. Now let's talk about the science of consistency. Because the real power of meditation isn't found in one deep session. It's found in the compounding effect of daily practice. Think of brushing your teeth. You don't wait until your teeth hurt to brush them, right? You brush them daily to keep them healthy. Meditation is the same. It's mental hygiene. A few minutes a day is better than an hour once a month. And here's the best part. Over time, your brain physically changes. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, kicks in. You literally build new neural pathways that support calm, focus, resilience, compassion, and clarity. And the old circuits, the ones wired for fear, overthinking, distraction, start to weaken. It's not magic. It's neuroscience, and it's available to you right now, but only if you commit. So ask yourself, how would your life change if you meditated daily for the next 30 days? How would you show up differently in your work, in your relationships, in your own mind? This isn't just about performance. It's about presence. And presence changes performance more than any hack, tool, or caffeine shot ever will. Because when you're fully present, you access your full potential. Let's keep going? So here we are. You now know the power of meditation. You understand that it's not just about sitting still. It's about rewiring your mind, mastering your emotions, and becoming fully present in your life. You've seen the science. You've felt the truth behind it. And you know this isn't some mystical idea. It's a tool, a daily practice, a path to mental clarity, discipline, emotional resilience, and ultimately, freedom. Freedom from reactivity, freedom from chaos, freedom from the noise in your own mind. And the best part? It's all within your control. You don't need to be a monk. You don't need to sit for hours. You just need a few minutes a day and a real commitment to yourself. Because the version of you who meditates daily, they are calmer, more focused, more creative, more grounded. They show up with intention. They don't just react, they respond. They don't get pulled in 1,000 directions. They know their center. They don't wait for peace. They create it. And you can be that version of you. Starting today. Starting now. So if this message resonated with you, if something inside you is saying, yes, this is what I need, then don't just watch this video and move on. Take action. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, set aside just 5 minutes each day to meditate. No excuses. No perfectionism. Just presence. Then, come back here and leave a comment. White right pointing backhand index, day 1 done. Oh, this changed everything for me. Let's build a community of high performers who use mindfulness as their edge, not just for success, but for meaning. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because there's more coming. Tools, insights, and strategies to help you unlock the most powerful version of yourself. Not someday. Now. See you in the next one.